We used to hang out on this bridge for hours and hours and smoke. I remember it was wooden and they replaced it with this concrete bridge, and look at it. It looks ancient, like the Wall of China or something. It's amazing. Well, you know, it was over 40 years ago, right? Here's my school. I made a video a couple weeks back. It was kind of like a little memorial video for my father. And it was talking about the trees and how him and I shared an interest in the trees. Anyway, I found another spot, and this is actually in the area where I grew up. And it was basically my backyard. Look, it's a sun shower. Don't you just love these? I don't want to get my camera too wet. This is one of the other bridges that we used to hang out at. See that sewer pipe? We used to send our dog down there, or we used to go down there ourselves. There was a smaller one that we used to send our dog down, and we would shout in it. We would call his name, and you would hear it echoing down the pipe. And he would run down there thinking we were down there, and then we'd call him again, and he would run back, and we'd see his eyes glowing all the way back. It was amazing. I don't know if anybody else ever did that, but it was a cool thing. We did it all the time. This is amazing how much this has changed. When I was in grade 6, I went to the school over here, and that school back there, and I remember Mike Ward was his name. We actually turned out to be good friends, and I decided I was going to pick a fight with him, and the guy was like so much bigger than me, but I thought I was omnipotent. And this is where we had the fight, right in this location. But it wasn't as crowded with bushes. In fact, there was quite a clearing here, and then there was a bit of a hill here. And I can remember him throwing me down that hill and getting on top of me and punching me until my nose bled. And then I was rescued by a friend, an older friend who was in middle school. And he ended up breaking the guy's nose. That was quite the experience. Play in this creek. It's really a lot different now. It's really, really changed. It's a much denser forest now. But this is the actual forest that I used to play around in when I was a kid. Poison ivy. Look at that. There's lots of poison ivy here. That's poison ivy if anybody ever wondered. I remember my dad always telling me to watch out for the poison ivy. But it's much different now. You can see it's more park-like now. When I was a kid, it was just a very rugged forest that you could hardly walk in. It's pretty much unrecognizable to me now. But there's an area here that looks a little bit familiar. And we'll go there and see what kind of trees we have. Here hasn't changed much. We used to hang out here and drink beers. When I was like a teenager, we'd get somebody who was 18, the drinking age was 18 at the time. We'd get somebody to buy us beer, and we'd come here and we'd sit. I remember that, but it doesn't look like the same place, really. I remember this tree. Yes, I remember that tree. That one hanging over like that. Interesting. So, anyway, I spent a lot. Oh, I remember these two ash trees. See, there's my house there. So you can see how it was like a backyard. It's not nearly as dense as it used to be. But this ash tree here and that ash tree back there, I remember when I was a kid. And look at that. Isn't that nice? We'll find a place to sit. And there used to be a lot of these, I remember, these fallen trees. I don't feel like talking, I just feel like just taking it all in. This is when I'm with my father. You know, I look around and my father and I walked here. And my brother, my sister, my mother. I especially remember my father and I walking through here, and him pointing out all the trees to me. And I thought to myself, man, oh man, there's a lot of different kinds of trees here. And I remember walking through here, and a tornado actually touched down not far from here. But prior to it touching down, it went over this forest. And it literally sounded like a freight train. You know, when people say that, they mean it. And, you know, you people that have heard it, you're going to say, yeah, it sounds like a freight train. But people that just hear that, they think it's kind of like a cliche or something. But it's not. They literally sound like trains. And I thought, I didn't know there were train tracks in this forest. And my dad said, I actually have dreams. You know how you have dreams about being at your childhood home. It's amazing when you actually come here. You feel like you're living the dream. People should get back to their roots as much as they can. This is how I remember my father. It's a great way to connect with people that have passed away, especially loved ones. Pizza Cemetery.